Okay, so this is my project, which is exploring Daniel Kahneman's findings on economic judgment and decision making, right? So the purpose of my project is to analyze Kahneman's findings on economic judgment and decision making under uncertainty, specifically geared towards, financial risks, as well to see if, different pressures from different people and different groups of people provide different responses. So why did I choose this project, right? I was always curious with certain topics surrounding economics, such as, why people indulge in gambling and lotteries. I always told myself that there was a separate reason, because logically, people wouldn't do it because they expected to win, right? A small minority might have this belief, but lotteries are notorious for gaining a lot of money. Like with a quick Google search, you can see like the province of Ontario just in 2021 gained over $4 billion in revenue, right? And there was probably more to this than just the life-changing amount that lotteries held, because nobody really expects to win a lottery, right? Because it's so rare. And I did some research and I stumbled across Daniel Kahneman, an Israeli-American psychologist who has a theory relating to how people react under uncertainty, especially around financial risk. So and he has a theory relating to how like people do this. So I decided to test this theory, but go further by like testing it with groups of children, and seeing if his findings would also correspond with mainly children, but also different groups of children. So my hypothesis was, when given the same stakes, just reversed. And I gave an example here where if you were given the chance to 99% chance to win $20 and $1 and 1% chance to lose $1,000, and when that turns into 1% chance to win $1,000 and 99% chance to lose $20, people will choose the latter or the reversed option because it's more in the context of lottery, and I feel like a lottery is designed to be, more attractive to people as a choice. So, onto my method. What I would do is make two separate Google Forms, have my class, which is a gifted 7A class, answer one survey, and have people I find on the internet answer another survey. And remember, they have no time frame, they have no background knowledge, they have varying degrees of consideration overall, and they might not be serious because they're people I found online, and I would have them answer the second survey. So here are my results. I put them into pairs. The first pair was like a 99% chance to win $10, but a 1% chance to lose $1,500, and I just reversed it. With the second pair, I did the same, but I added to the money. So instead of winning $10, it was winning $20. Instead of losing $10, it was losing $20 and winning $5,000 and winning $1,500 and losing $1,500 turned into $5,000, right? So I just scaled up the money to see if the money factor would be a huge emphasis or a huge issue for people so that they would choose this option instead, right? Or they might not, things might scale differently, right? So then with the third one, I did the same, with the third pair, I did the same thing as the second pair, but instead of a 99% chance and a 1% chance, I made it 95% chance and a 5% chance, right? And continued, I did the same 95% chance and 5% chance. So I wanted to see if the thing that they were most concerned about was there are three factors, right? The first factor is the, probability of winning or losing. The second is the amount you win or lose. And the third is if it's the context of a lottery or flipped, right? So I catered to more to one of the factors in each question, kind of shifted it around so you can see the context in the fourth pair, right? And in the fifth pair, I made it specifically so that it was a life-changing amount of money. And you can see that you either win $100,000 or you lose $100,000, and $100,000 is a lot of money. So this might change people's willingness to do something, right? Because it's a lot of money. And I did the same test with internet users, and overall my biggest obstacle was something that surprised me in a sense, right? So this came from the grade 7 to 8's gifted classes response, right? And I thought that these people would be more reliable in a sense because they had more consideration for this, but this really stopped me, right? So you can see in this question it asks, there's a 99% chance to lose $10, but a 1% chance to win $1,500. And it's the same with the next question, except there's more chance to win more money, to win the same amount of money, but there were less yeses to the question, right? And the thing is, this was by far the biggest outlier in my whole study. And I wasn't sure if it was poor reading, but I thought that this, even if there were people who read this wrong, it would be outweighed by the people who saw this as a more promising opportunity or an offer, right? And although I didn't really overcome it, I did come to realize that there was a steady stream of knowledge essentially adding into the perception of their choice, right? And in the end, maybe because this question was later, they had more emphasis on different factors. Maybe their emphasis in different factors changed it. Maybe they were like really volatile, maybe they varied, etc. But, the only possible conclusion that wasn't that like the majority of them read it wrong was that because your consideration for factors doesn't scale proportionally to how much emphasis I put into the questions. Maybe they just shifted their interest, right? Or this was like an outlier or just really couldn't solve. So in my conclusion, final thoughts, although there was a few outliers, most answers corresponded with like hypothesis, right? And while I could deem it correct, I don't think that the shift was substantial enough, right? I told you about the 3 factors, and in the end, like I concluded that the potential gain and loss corresponded in 2 questions, right? If they corresponded in 2 questions, if the percentage happened vice versa, or correspondingly, a person was more likely to take the deal if they were the ones contributing a small sum of money, right? And had a potential of winning a big sum of money. And this was partially because of the guilt factor, where like they don't want to sacrifice a opportunity that they get because it could be a life-changing amount of money, but also that this was something that they were familiar with because it was like in the context of a lottery, and I think that this is why people indulge in lotteries, right? And the thing is, this didn't happen in a vice versa context because people didn't want to lose a life-changing amount of money, no matter how small the chance was for like little gain, right? And even though both questions balance out in the sense of stakes, the psychology surrounding these questions were different, and in the end, people showed that this type of lottery was more attractive, right? And in the end, all factors contributed, but not in the way that I thought. And I never thought that the distribution of how much people cared about certain factors would scale perfectly linear based on questions. But it was kind of weird, right? People's factors and emphasis on different factors shifted from question to question. So, like in the end, I really, really enjoyed this project in general. It led me to discover a lot of things surrounding a subject I really enjoyed, which was economics, right? It led me to discover different paths of interest and how different groups would deal with different topics. And I would say if I were to approach this subject again, whether hypothetically or in the future, I would probably try to find more respondents to ease out the outliers. But that's tough in the scenario of a virtual school because you can't really find people. But even if I can't achieve that, I might have asked more questions like their socioeconomic status, their income, if they're comfortable to share, obviously, and specifics to categorize responses to, put people into more specific and accurate categories, right? In the end, really enjoyed this project, and this is all for my BASIF 2022 presentation. So yeah.